Okay guys, so we are back and today we're once again talking about Black Panther. Now today we're not directly talking about the character himself, we're not talking about T'Challa, we're actually going to be talking about a character who in the comics is known as Man-Ape. Now what we've learned is the fact that the character is still very much in the movie, he's just not going to be called Man-Ape, and that makes a lot of sense. And they even said, and I quote, "We don't call him Man-Ape." And then they added, "We do call him M'Baku." Having a black character dress up as an ape, I think there's a lot of racial implications that don't sit well, if done wrong. But the idea that they worship the gorilla gods is interesting because it's a movie about the Black Panther, who himself is a sort of deity in his own right. So quite honestly, this is one of those obvious things. If you're a longtime listener of CBC, you'll know as far back as, the first 50 episodes of the podcast, and we're past 300 now, I've been talking about how much I wanted a Black Panther movie, and I've always said I would love to see Man-Ape as a villain, but you're probably not going to call him that because, like they say there, racial implications, and that is pretty true. And honestly, as long as the character is 100% faithful, which they say right there, he's going to be worshipping a giant gorilla, yeah, it sounds like they understand and they're not swaying away from that, they just don't want to stick with that name. And then they add, and I quote, "In M'Baku's worldview, T'Chaka made a huge mistake going to the UN. We should never engage with the outside world. That's a terrible mistake. And if his son is anything like his father, I don't support him being on the throne." So once again, it seems like this is all kind of hinging on the past and how they see T'Challa as a younger king that might not be fit and they don't like what his dad was doing. Obviously, quite a different worldview, and this is how Claw and Killmonger and everybody's going to view Wakanda now. It's a new time, new day and age, we gotta evolve with it, which honestly is a great way to bring this story because it makes a lot of sense. So everything they're saying, honestly, I think sounds pretty awesome. I can't wait to see how they handle Man-Ape. I can't wait to see, how he's actually going to be battling, if he's, fully on going to battle or anything. And I want to see how these different cultures are going to all clash within the movie. Because, like any sort of country, there's diverse cultures and different beliefs and stuff, and I want to see how they're going to handle that in this film, which is one reason I've always wanted Man-Ape to be in a movie, and I can't wait to see it. So you guys let me know your thoughts on this, and how do you feel about the name change, or the lack of a name for him?